then this day 5, the 2. It might be difficult to see, but actually, because of Raptor, they have the strong, different sexual dimorphism. As the rule of thumb, the female mostly bigger than the male, so the girls rule the boy. Okay? And this one is the female, the smaller one is the male. We check and confirm by genetic sexing to check the chromosome by collecting the blood. And here is the parent. Okay. And just the nestling. And okay, we go look for the video. So we put the camera trap, at the eye level of the nest. That's the parent. I think you might be able to tell about the mother and father here. This is the small rodent. It's pretty in the rice field. This nest tree surrounded by rice field. So, their life, depends on the number of the rodent in the area. In the past, this species nest on the dipterocarp tree, very high, 20, 30 meters high. But because, now it's too high and local tend to cut them down because they are afraid of the breaking, of the branches during the thunderstorm. So we don't have many of the dipterocarp tree. So it's a good news that the kite, adapt, to use some other tree. And this nest only 3 meters high from the ground. But the bad thing is, it makes them prone to illegal poaching. Yeah. Okay, that's the prey composition of the black kite. You see, mostly rodent, okay, 72%. And first, nestling, we think is the blonde-winged jacana. Yeah, the water bird, they live around the rice field. Also fish, frogs, and toads. I'm not a herpetologist, so I don't know how to identify them at species level. And snakes. Okay, last issue. I am a veterinarian, so one of my jobs is, to treat injured animals. And since I'm very much into the raptors, so with the support of the university and the public, we established the Raptor Rehabilitation Unit, at the university. So we received, about 100 injured raptors, both diurnal and nocturnal, like barn owls, scops owl, eagle owl, something like that. We treat, and the one that, gain health, so we choose, the suitable habitat and the season, depending on the species to release them in the wild. For those that permanently injured, we keep them to teach our vet students as the education works. Here, my pigeons. Okay, we have as big as steppe eagle, the changeable hawk eagle, Japanese sparrowhawk, black-winged kite, juvenile, spot-bellied eagle owl, the vulture. We have these two in winter, right? The Himalayan griffon vultures, and spotted owlet and fish owl. Okay, this is just the procedure, for diagnose, treat, and then, that's the flight enclosure, and we release those that, we think that they can survive for themselves, after receive the rehabilitation procedure. Yep, and one for the vultures, we have some fun to deploy the satellite tracking on them, so we know for sure that they can make it far after we help them to get to their wings again. And this from last year, is the signalist vulture. We name it Sky. Actually, it's for short from Skywalker. I'm a fan of the Star Wars. So, we have released them in northern Thailand at Doi Lang. Some of you have visited Thailand, that's a very good birding site for mountain species. So here the path, that's Sky Man. Okay, yep, so that's within 2 weeks, But unfortunately, we lost the signal after that, so we don't know that it's because of this function of the unit of the satellite or because something happened to sky. But we plan to continue to do this, for the vulture in the future, so we can learn about their migration pathway. Because, we think that the vultures, the Himalayan griffon vulture may come from here, the western China. But for the Sinus vulture, there is small population of breeding here in northeast China. Here, and in winter, they congregate in hundreds in South Korea because the Korean people, they put up the carcass, of the pig, as the food of the vultures in winter. Okay, that's the book I wrote, co-author. Some of you might have seen that, I have been a bad boy that could not get the English version of this book, to the public. But I will try later, and this the ARCN, that's the Guide for the Migratory Species, and I believe that within 2 months, the second volume covering the sedentary species of Raptors of Asia will already print and will be available for those interested. So that's my next project. That's why I came here, to get the data by my own eyes for the hawk eagles. First will be the migratory Raptors of Thailand, and then after that, going to be the second book that covers both migratory and resident species. Okay, yep. And all those things wouldn't be possible, without my team, the Thai Raptor group team and volunteers, my students, the gang, Red Hill gang, up at the hill, some are local, very local. They don't know anything about biology, and they learn from me, but they're eager to know what that big bird is, the honey buzzard, or the Amu falcon, or the chikra. But now, Mr. Noy, this man is the local expert for raptor identification. Some of you might have met him. And if you visit Red Hill, you will see him. He will go up there every day. They're really eager and happy to help you identify birds or explain about raptors. So these are my students. Okay, that would be it. So, thank you. And happy to take questions if you may have.